I'm here with Richard. Wait, what's your company?
Richard Sucks. I'm Richard Fairgray of Richard Sucks.
Great. So I see you do comics. How long have you been in the industry?
33 years.
That's awesome. What did you do before you did your own things?
Nothing. I published my first book at 7.
Wow.
So I've never had another job. I made the usual amount of money you make from when you're a teenager as a teenager by making comics and doing shows. And then right after I finished college, I had this plan to settle down and have a real job. And then my 100th book was found on the set of the first Wolverine film. And then I got a call saying, do you want to come and take some meetings? And so I did. And then a bunch of my stuff got optioned. And while that all fell apart, it made me realize, oh, I can do this for real. And so I just did it for real. I released a book called Blastosaurus, which made me my living for about 15 years. And then worked in a lot of kids book stuff. And then 2 years ago, my best friend passed away. He'd been a big part of a memoir that I'd never published because everyone told me it would end my career if I did. And so I said, hard pivot, grown-up books for dirtbags, gays, and ladies. And that's when I launched Richard Sucks.
So you do, I see horror shorts, and I see other fun things. You want to tell me about what inspires you to create these stories?
A lot of it is just, I don't want to get bored. I love comics. They're my favorite medium. I think it's a really interesting medium that can do more with time and control of time than anything else.
Yes.
And I think it's such an unexplored language. I would like to find my way through it, and I don't think I'll run out of ideas before I die. So a lot of my work is trying to push the comic medium as far as I can. What does the 11 by 17 page contain? How weird can I get before it loses readability? That kind of stuff. And I live this life where I try to run headfirst into whatever seems more interesting. And so I put out a lot of memoir work because I'm tired of people saying, no, that can't possibly have really happened to the same person.
So you talk about time. I'm also a comic writer, so I'm curious, how much do you enjoy working with the gutter? The space in between.
Yeah. I always said, my initial plan was my memoir should be called Life Between the Gutters.
Okay.
So here is my big take on comics. Comics got codified by superheroes so fast, and then comics went digital so fast. We never fully explored what can happen between the top left and bottom right of a page. You can create so much with what people imagine happening in the gutter, or you can make the gutter a completely dead space. I could do a comic page that feels like it happens incredibly fast, that takes you 4 or 5 minutes to read. If I put 30 panels on that page of people with clipped dialogue talking over each other, it'll take you a long time to process it, but it'll feel like it happened fast. Equally, I can do a single panel of a person standing in an empty space looking sad, and you'll feel haunted and you will hover on that page emotionally, even if you're only there for 2 seconds. So I think that the gutter is just one of the many tools. I like to do a lot of things where I'll have things break through the gutter, or I'll sometimes do things where I'll lay one page layout over another page layout to see how it cuts things up, things like that.
That's so interesting. Well, thanks for talking with me. Take this moment now to choose your latest production and talk about it. Other than that one.
That's 3 books ago now. That's 2 weeks ago. My latest thing is Get My Head Straight. This is a memoir that I made in the 3 weeks following the inauguration this year, where I'm trying to grapple with how do we make art in a world that's this cursed. So it's a mixture of a fake interview with me as I'm being pursued by ravenous triceratopses who are screaming notifications at me from my phone, along with conversations with Steve Bissett and Scott McCloud and Alex Burke and Indra Neville about the making of art, as well as a bunch of stories from the past year of wild sexual escapades that I've had with a trapeze artist, porn star, and things like that, where individually they all seem like fun adventures, but when you put them all together in one place, it kind of looks like a person falling apart.
Awesome. Richard, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.